Hey, good Wednesday morning, and thanks for checking out your latest long-range forecast update. Michael Clark here with BAM Weather. We're going to kind of get into the thought process and forecast here over the next few weeks. Everybody obviously getting antsy, getting ready to get out and get things into the ground and get field work done. We'll talk about latest ideas here into May, and then some updated thought processes here into summer as well. So do me a favor, if you find any value in the video here, share it with a friend, throw it on your socials, tell folks to come and check it out. We appreciate it, as always. Here's a look here right now at the day one severe weather outlook. A slight risk of some stronger storms, eastern Kansas, western Missouri, and some strong thunderstorms here across portions of the Ohio Valley as well. A little bit of an enhanced tornado risk from Detroit, Cleveland, Mansfield down to Columbus over towards Pittsburgh. Tomorrow, that severe weather threat sets up a little bit further down to the south in the eastern Missouri, south central Illinois, southwest Indiana. Slight risk for severe weather there. Current thought process is there is a little bit of an elevated risk here for some tornado potential. Again, this all coming from our Clarity platform. And day three, the risk will shift off to the south and to the east. Current radar right now, and we take a look here, we'll kind of pull this out here to a nationwide view. We have some shower and thunderstorm activity over the Great Lakes. That's where some of that severe weather is going to set up with this front coming through. There's actually a front here. In fact, it's probably rather visible here on Clarity. You can see where the front's kind of set up. Look at that, North Dakota 35 degrees out right now. In Indy, it's 69 degrees out ahead of the front. Okay. So with that said, I want to show you real quick just overall the amount of rain we've had here over the last week. A lot of places that have needed the rain, especially here across eastern Nebraska, portions of Iowa, especially north central Iowa. Some places there over an inch of rain over the last week. So much needed beneficial rains. A great feature on Clarity, by the way, is field level rainfall data. You can zoom down into field level and click on how much rain you've gotten in certain spots, certain time periods as well. Again, just one of the several incredibly useful tools here from Clarity. So let's take a look real quick just at the simulated radar idea here going forward. Again, this is the forecast radar from the latest NAM model. There's that line of thunderstorms that goes through Ohio. Really about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock tonight. That line's moving through Ohio, getting into western Pennsylvania there. And then into early morning hours, Thursday, another thunderstorm complex develops across Nebraska. All right, check that out, into south central Iowa, northern Missouri. And as that system works east Thursday night into Friday, more thunderstorm activity will develop across Missouri, Illinois, and then into Indiana with more thunderstorm potential there. Late Thursday night into the pre-dawn hours of Friday, as that front kind of skirts off to the east. This is a look at the precipitation idea, at least over the next 60 hours, how much rain might fall from this. A kind of a blanketed quarter to maybe 3/4 of an inch here. Okay. The locally heavier rainfall totals are certainly going to be where there can be convection and thunderstorm activity, where locally there could be an inch or inch and a half of additional rain here over the next 48 hours based on some of the latest short-term high-resolution computer model guidance. Okay, this here is a look at our morning ag weather report. We send this out to our clients via email or in our Clarity application as well. You can view that as well. But this is a look at the morning ag weather report, the intro slide. And week one, cold. All right, we've got departure from normal temps, certainly below average. Week two, we start to get substantially warmer, but we do get wetter. We do believe that week two forecast has at least some potential here to possibly be perhaps a little too wet here further east. The greatest potential at above normal precip week two probably going to come here across the Central Plains. And check it out. Here's our storm fronts. We have storm systems and cold fronts in here that continue to. It's not an inactive pattern. Is basically what I'm trying to say. Take a look here at the soil moisture percentile index forecast update. Again, you can see the areas that need the rain the most. For the most part, you're seeing that across Iowa, Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Southern Illinois, really where the rainfall is most needed. And I like at least for now, I like the week 2 signal at bringing in rain to this area. I mean, I like what I'm seeing. You could argue portions of Illinois, Indiana, Ohio are really have gotten too wet recently overall. Okay. Now, going forward, what I want to show you here is the precipitation from normal from the data, the EPS, the European in the left, American in the middle, and Canadian on the right. And again, you can see the strong consensus here in the 6 to 10, really from all the data. And even into the 11 to 15, we kind of see a very wet look here across the central U.S. developing with above normal precipitation signals emerging. If anything, the Ohio Valley points east can end up a little bit drier versus the model guidance. But overnight runs here, these are the changes. This is where we kind of look at what did the models trend from versus their previous run. So everything trended a little bit wetter, especially in the week 2 time frame across the central U.S. Okay, real quick, temperatures. Well, pretty much all systems a go here for the warmer temperatures to work in the 6 to 10 and especially into the 11 to 15 day time frame as well. So again, you want to report like this to your email every morning with commentary. Feel free to reach out to us, let us know. Getting into weeks 3 and 4, there's the warmth. Now, anytime you have a look like this, where you're warmer to the east and you're wetter out to the west, you're going to be very active in the middle. So late April into early May, you're probably looking at a pretty active look here in the Central Plains. Perhaps it does work against, on-time planting for folks. Perhaps there is some delays here. Originally, I thought, we wouldn't really be seeing this. And what's interesting is there is conflictions in the signals, the atmospheric pattern drivers versus the data. To me, I have some suspicions the pattern can turn drier into May. Yet to see that show up, I'll explain that more in just a second. Regardless, we look at temperatures that are going to be trending warmer versus where they have been. But there's that wet week 3 look from the CFS there. Again, especially for the central U.S., it's a very wet look there in week 3. That's the end of April, the first 6 days of May. And then the second week of May, continue here to see this suggestion of just at to above normal rain being in the picture. Okay. So with that said, what does the May forecast look like? Well, the CFS runs an update every day, tells us what the May forecast is going to look like. There's a lot of consistency in this look. It's been running for several days with this look. Anytime, again, you've got the warmth here and cooler out in here, you're active. You're going to run troughs up into this warmer pattern. You're going to get severe weather. I think across the south central plains and the deep south, severe weather can really be active into May, for the record. But overall, it's looking to be an at or above normal temperature month for most of the primary U.S. growing regions, at or above normal temperatures. This is a look at the top leading analogs right now going into May, based on an ENSO evolution process, or essentially kind of coming from El Nino going into La Nina. Those right now indicate a large area of above normal temperatures being likely, with the cooler out in here. And again, that's going to set up this what we call this battle zone to where precipitation can become rather widespread here, I believe. Okay, so the temperatures along with the analog map, they're pretty similar. Okay, the model versus the analog. Let's look at precip. This is the CFS, again, forecast for the month of May. And again, I want to show you what you're noting here is really the strongest signal is right in through here. All right, there's some potential shifting that can come in through here, and perhaps, and again, over here. Regardless, it's a very wet look. It's an active look across much of the primary U.S. growing regions for the month of May based on that model. here is the analogs. And again, they're not far off, but what I talked about, room for adjustments, if you will, in through here, it wouldn't shock me if somewhere in through here overall was a drier look or trended drier than it has been here as we got into May. Okay, we can say drier or whatever, if you will. And then you kind of look in through here. I think that it can become, wetter in here, if you will. Okay, with severe weather chances. And so there's a lack of significant confidence right now, or high confidence for the May outlook. But looking at data and looking at analogs, that would kind of be my best way to take a, I got to say something. I'm trying to predict the future. I can't just not say anything. So it's my best take on it right now. All right. So real quick, let's talk about the seasonal signals for summer. We're continuing to see the primary regions of ENSO, which is the equatorial Pacific Ocean right here. We're continuing to see trends in the temperature of the water slowly getting cooler. The blues meaning the last 4 weeks, the water has gotten cooler, which is a sign of a slow or a transition from El Nino into La Nina. The subsurface temperature analysis showing the cold pool of water increasing. A large now area of temperatures in the water that are colder than average. And you can see from February to March, it's gotten bigger and it's gotten colder, which tells us that we're really moments away from slipping into probably a moderate to a strong La Nina. The data hints it, it says it, it's showing it. The CFS, which runs pretty much every day, says we're going to get into La Nina by probably June. Okay, its suggestion is this looks to be June, and then by late July into August we're in a strong La Nina. Okay, so the thought process is looking at the seasonal signals with that in mind. Here's the multi-model ensemble. Okay, these are models from various different computers, and again, here's the La Nina line. And everything by June is in a La Nina. And then everything by August is in a strong La Nina, model-wise. Okay. So, that kind of gives us an idea of where to look, what we could kind of, some conclusions we could draw up. Regardless, whichever way you spin it, we're still leaning towards a much warmer than normal summer. There's really no question about it. And we're leaning towards, at times, potentially a big ridge somewhere in here that can come and go with big heat waves, but also offer up precip chances, northwest flow chances, southwest flow, precip around the periphery of the ridge here, thunderstorm clusters. Anytime you get intense heat, thunderstorm clusters as well with that. So that's kind of the thought process right now, is a hot summer, but potentially still an active one, unfortunately, with possibly the chances or the risks of severe weather alongside of that. So we're really just kind of timing out the transition from El Nino to La Nina and the speed of that. And as we get, obviously, out of the, April, early May is just transitional months. They're tough to pin down, and they can be difficult seasonal outlooks, monthly outlooks in these times when you're transitioning from, El Nino to La Nina. The speed of that is certainly something that matters. So we'll continue to keep you posted and keep you updated. Make sure you're following along, share this with a friend, and we'll have another update like this again for you next Wednesday. We'll see you.